For the first time all week, we've got men's jump. So we've got Series 4, Seed 4 and Seed 3 of men's jump about to start. And conditions absolutely perfect. So I'm joined in commentary by Australian team manager Grant Barnett and former 60 metre plus jumper. Mate, you've got to love the look of these conditions.
Glenn, it seemed like around about 10 to 1 came around and somebody said, switch the headwind on, please, because that's exactly what we've got right now. A slight headwind, absolutely picture perfect. And the same sort of conditions happened yesterday for the women's as well. Of course, Sadie Ferguson pushed out a 46 odd metre jump, I think it was. 46 and a half, new PB for her in identically the same conditions. And I can tell you, I was sitting around at the back there and some of the higher seed jumpers were sitting out there and they were watching the conditions and they were thinking, whoa, if this young lady's gone 2 metres above her personal best, there's going to be some big jumps this weekend.
Well, there's some jumpers a little bit later on in Series 3 that I think will go over 60 for sure. We'll go low 60, 61, 62 for sure. The likes of Duplan-Fribourg, Alexander Seminoff, Marek Melnik, those sorts of guys. Tanguy Deland as well. They're going to lap up these conditions. And it actually does make it a little interesting because we've got a split set. So the top 2 seeds will go later on, I think Friday, and who knows what we're going to have. So conditions great at the moment for these guys. So we've got our first skier on the water is young Aiden Young, of course, just an absolute youngster from that famous Malaysian Waterski family, the Youngs. So our first 2 skiers will be off 5 foot, 1.5 metres, which is the 2 young boys, Adam and Aiden, and then of course the rest of our skiers off 1.65.
What a great opportunity for Adam to come out here at a home World Championships, Glenn, in front of his home crowd. So any Malaysians here, folks, your athletes are on the water right now. Adam Young Hanifar, a wonderful little trick performance this morning as well. Of course, as you mentioned, from the famous Waterski family, Young Hanifar here in Malaysia, coming in for his first jump. Looks like a single cut potentially, Glenn, here for his first jump.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, these guys, I don't know, I get confused as which is which, but one of them's only about 11 years old, so it's probably understandable if he's doing a single cut to start.
Come on, Adam. Nice form into the bottom there. Up off the top, nice lift, and a great opening jump. So put your hands together, folks, for Adam Young Hanifar from Malaysia. This is your local skier. Wonderful effort for him to be skiing in his home World Championships. First jump, we'll get a distance shortly. A nice opening jump, Glenn. Nice single.
Tidy, yep.
Perfect form into the bottom. Obviously had some great coaching.
Yeah, plenty of talent, because I mean, these guys are already world-renowned trick skiers. They're tricking close to 5,000 points, if not over 5,000 points. And they managed to slalom today, which managed to run first passes today in slalom, which was sounds like that shouldn't be that hard, but they're used to slaloming kind of 52, 55k start, but they had to start at 58k today, being the world champs. So these young guys having a good day. 10 metres. 10 metres is the score.
10 metres. Nice little opening jump for Adam Young Hanifar. 10 metres. Nice opening single cut. See if you can bring it down a little bit further on this next one. Glenn, get a little bit more speed into the base of the ramp and see if we can get him up around 15 metres by the third one, hopefully. Yeah,
I mean, it's not the biggest jump ever at a world champs, I wouldn't think, but he's getting his iron out there. Just a youngster with a big future.
Yep, I certainly would love to have competed at a World Championship at this age, as many athletes would, and he's got an amazing opportunity to do that in his home site, home country, hometown here in Putrajaya. Adam Young Hanifar coming in for jump number 2, 10 metres on the first. Glenn, let's see what he can do on the second.
Yeah, well, let's see if he tries to get a bit more speed, a bit more edge into the bottom maybe, but more of a spring off the top. Here we go, edges into the bottom of the ramp. That's a great jump. That looks further than 10 metres to me. We'll just have to wait
I think
and see.
That was a little bit further as well. So once again, great jumping. Of our local Malaysian folks, put your hands together for young Adam. He is your athlete here today. Of course, his brother Aiden will be following him next, and then we'll have Kei Hee-wen from China, Taeho Chang from Korea, Min-jun Seong from Korea, and Yuichi Yamamoto from Japan. So just the 6 athletes in Open Men's Series 4 jump. As we just wait for a distance for Adam's second one. 10 metres on the first. And 15 metres on the second. A great effort. 5 metre improvement. We mentioned that we might like to see him up around 15. I might have gone a little bit short there, Glenn. We might want to see him up around 20. He just improved 5 metres on his first jump for a 15 metre jump on his second. Let's see if we can pull up some personal bests here if they're up on the World Waterskiers site. What a wonderful opportunity for all of our athletes around the world to upload all of their achievements and the background and the history of what they're doing here in water skiing. And of course, World Waterski bring us the webcast here over the next 4 or 5 days to come. Some exciting skiers. We are in Series 4 Open Men's Jump. This is Adam Hanifar Young. Young Hanifar coming in for his third and final jump. 10 metres in the first, 15 metres in the second. What's he got on the third, Glenn?
Maybe 20. He's going up in multiples of 5. Let's see what he does. Up and over. Geez, I'll tell you what, a great style. Very, you know, if you got a young guy learning to jump back home, or your kids, you want to take them over the jump, that's the way you want them to look.
Absolutely. He looked fantastic. Another great jump there from Adam Young Hanifar. 10 metres in the first, then a 15. Can he crack the 20? Let's wait and see. Beautiful form off the top of the ramp. And just about a stand-up landing as well. Oh, getting back on his heels a little bit there, but great 3 jumps as we wait for the distance on his third. Of course, Aiden Young Hanifar will be the next competitor, the brother of Adam. Still waiting for distance on that third jump. We'll bring that to you as quickly as we can.
Yeah, not sure what the distance is on that one, or also haven't got a profile for Aiden or Adam jump score, so we don't know what their personal bests are, but to wait and see. Obviously the 2 young fellas sharing skis there. We're just grabbing skis out of the water. Adam passes those jump skis on to Aiden.
Great start dock facilities here too in Putrajaya, Glenn.
Yeah.
Nice and big, lots and lots of room down there for the athletes to get ready. Have a look at these 2 young guys, Glenn, both sharing the equipment. They also did the same thing in the trick event a little earlier, and it was wonderful to see. These guys are putting the arm sling on there, strapping it in. Of course, Aliyah, the big sister of these 2 boys, what a wonderful athlete she is, and bigger future for her. She's got her pet trick event, of course, coming up over the next few days.
David, did we get a distance on the third?
I think it's 15 again. I checked it direct. I think it's too short. They don't have a box to measure it.
I've got that feeling too, yeah. Because the first one looked bigger than 10. Anyway. Okay, well it sounds like jump number 3 was 15 metres as well, so 2 15-metre jumps in a row there for young Adam Young.
All right, Aiden Young just heading down the course now. So again, folks, all of the local Malaysians have come down to watch these World Championships. Put your hands together for your local lads. 15 metres is the score to beat so far. Of course, 6 competitors in Open Men's Series 4. And then we'll head into Open Men's Series 3 with 10 competitors to round out day number 2 of the 2019 IWWF World Waterski Championships. And magnificent conditions, Glenn, you have to say, both of these days, yesterday and today. They couldn't have asked for any better. And today, 1 o'clock came around, somebody turned the switch and the slight headwind came on. Couldn't get any better.
If these conditions hold, it's on course to be one of the great world waterski champs. Particularly, we talked about it earlier, we've got the carnival happening out behind us. I think that starts tomorrow. If we can get a decent crowd, we've got a 3,000 seat stadium here. If we can get a crowd in, and it is, I mean, Kuala Lumpur is only 45 minutes away from here, so there's 8 or 9 million people live in Kuala Lumpur. So you'd expect a decent crowd here on the weekend. Really could be. Talk about bringing the sport of water skiing to the people, to the crowds. It's great to see.
Yep. I'm going to call it, Glenn. I'm going to call this is going to be one of the great world championships of all time. We've had some incredible stadium sites around the world over the last 20 or 30 years, but this is absolutely beautiful. And if we can keep these conditions like this over the next few days, it will be one of the great world championships we have ever seen. As Aiden Young comes in for jump number 1.
Yeah, so single cut there, but good strong edge through the jump. Great form. They're talented, these guys, but they're also well coached. You can tell they're wouldn't take much for these young guys as they get a bit bigger and stronger to really move ahead in their jumping.
Yeah, lovely form on the first jump, very similar to brother Adam. We'll wait for distance for Aiden. Famous sporting family all round, Glenn. Obviously, Alex, older brother, the first Formula 1 car racing driver from Malaysia back in the mid-2000s, I think it was. Partnered with Mark Webber in the F1s. And then, of course, Alex was a great skier in his own right, represented Malaysia at many international events, Asian champion, along with sister Philippa, known as Pippa, obviously one of the event organisers here, or assisting dad in everything here. So wait for jump distance for Aiden on jump number 1.
15 metres there from Adam. It's going to be hard to separate these two brothers. Okay, so Adam Young, of course, he's got 15 metres. Now his brother Aiden's also got 15 metres. Still 2 jumps to come for Aiden, though. See if he can't break the chains.
You would barely know the difference, would you, Glenn,
No.
from the two boys here? Single cut, great form. Got the arm sling on there already. Here he goes. Jump number 2 for Aiden. 15 metres on the first. Up and over. And oh, that looks like a little bit further as well. Looks like he got a little bit extra float.
Well, he almost pressed out over into that headwind, out over the front of those big 72-inch jump skis.
He certainly did. What a future these two have got, the two boys. Big shoes to fill, of course, with sister Aliyah and Alex and Philippa, but an amazing opportunity for them and a facility here to train at here in Putrajaya.
Yeah, just waiting for confirmation on that distance. 16 metres. So we've got a leader, folks. We've taken the lead here. Young Aiden has taken the lead over his brother Adam. He's got 16 metres.
And you know what he could say in future years to come, Glenn, that at the 2019 IWWF World Waterski Championships, I was the leader in men's jump.
Yeah. He's leading
with
men's
16
jump
metres.
16
and Adam could say he was coming second. So well done, boys. Of course, after Aiden, we go into a competitor from China.
Well, geez, Grant, if you're a fan of Asian jumping, this whole series here is dominated by Asian superstars of the jump event.
It's literally like a little Asian championship, isn't it? We've got 2 Malaysians, 1 athlete from China, 2 from Korea and 1 from Japan. It certainly is. All right, the leader of the open men's jump here at the IWWF World Waterski Championships at the moment is Aiden Young from Malaysia, coming in for jump number 3. Can he exceed over 16? Ooh, that was a nice jump too, Glenn.
I think he got a harder cut there. He seemed to really pushing hard into the base of the ramp. If you look at the replay here, look at the edge on those skis as he's coming in there. Strong and powerful. Look at that, really edging those 72-inch skis well. Up he goes. Pushes out over the front of the skis.
Oh, I'm going to say that's a little more than 16, Glenn. Yeah. I'm going to say that's 15.5. 15.5, so a little less, but great jumping from Aiden Young. He is the leader with 16 metres from Adam Young at 15 metres. Well done, boys.
Okay, I'm excited, Grant, because we're going to China now, and the Chinese have always had some exciting jumpers over the years. This is Wen Kai-hee from China. The ramp's got to go up to 1.65, so you see the Chinese athlete, he's in the water already. He might have been a little bit premature there. I don't know how long it takes to put this ramp up and down, but I'm sure it's certainly warm enough. It's not like he's going to be cold sitting in the water here.
Well, if it's anything like that goes on here in Malaysia, it'll be done quickly, Glenn.
Yes,
swiftly,
yep.
As efficiently as possible. I mean, yesterday in the opening ceremony, how efficient that ran was incredible. Everything they do here at this event so far has been done brilliantly well. And
friendly people, like to Malaysians, to me, they seem like the friendliest people I've ever come across. Unbelievable.
Thoroughly deserved to have these World Championships here, and an amazing job they've done so far. It's a little after 1:15 here, Kuala Lumpur local time. If you're watching around the world on the webcast, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. We are watching Open Men's Series 4 Jump Preliminary Round. We've had two athletes, Adam Young and Aiden Young. Aiden is currently the leader on 16 metres, followed by Adam on 15. Then we've got the athlete from China, just waiting for the jump ramp to be raised to 1.65 metres for our last 4 athletes in Series 4 before we move into Series 3. And you think there could be a couple of 60-metre jumpers in there, Glenn? You really do.
I think conditions hold. Louis Duplan-Fribourg, I can see him going over 60 metres. Alexander Seminoff, it's only 16, but he has already been over 60 metres.
Wow.
Marek Melnik as well, I'm pretty sure, is a 60-metre jump. And then we know Tanguy Delan has been over 60 metres. I'm surprised to see Tanguy so early out here in the seedings, but not sure quite sure what's up with that. But yeah, I think we will see some. The conditions are great.
Incredible. And it'll be interesting to pull up as we move through these Series 3 right towards the end, their profiles on World Water Skiers, where all of these athletes have punched their details in, all their personal bests, their achievements, their sponsors, all of the personal details of them, so us in the webcast and everybody at home can understand exactly what their personal bests are, and we can put those against their performances here. And I'm tipping, I tell you what, if it's like Sadie Ferguson was yesterday in the women's jump, there's a very good chance, if conditions stay like this, Glenn, with a slight headwind, that we could see some new personal bests from those athletes who you said have been up over 60 metres, or even all of these guys in this next series and the remaining Series 4 here.
Well, because, you know, it's interesting, typically to make a final of World Champs, you probably, I don't know, 62 and a half, 63 metres would probably get you into the final. And so if one of these guys jumps out here today, that's going to put a lot of pressure on. There'll still be probably 22, 23 skiers to go in Series 2 and 1 that are all going to have to exceed that, you know, right from the get-go. So
no doubt about it. There's going to be guys that have been watching exactly how far these guys are going to go in Series 3. I certainly know our Australian athletes will be having a look at the scores, along with all of our team captains and managers, because they know that 60 metres or less is probably not going to cut it, Glenn.
No.
It's going to need to be a big jump, and lots of team scores as well are important. A lot of these athletes now picked here to come to these World Championships from a team perspective, and they'll be adding to those scores here this afternoon.
Okay, this could be exciting, folks. Chinese jumper here, not sporting the arm sling, which is unusual nowadays. You don't see too many jumpers without the arm sling. Now,
I think we've got some no arm sling, and we've got some Conley 200 plus jumpers there too, Glenn.
yeah.
Haven't seen those out
Oh, the old
World
Conley 200
Championships for a
plus.
while,
Yeah,
but
Wow.
we wish him well. We wish him well. This
I had a pair of those jump skis back in the late 80s, I think. Great jump skis.
Yep, not too many of us didn't have the Conley 200 pluses.
Yeah.
Or a pair of Conley jump skis at all. Of course, these days they've certainly extended in length, and it's really made a great safety initiative into jump water skiing, hasn't it, Glenn, with the longer jumpers?
Now, the interesting thing here, if you're watching around the world, is that a lot of countries in the world, I think you have to jump 38 metres to jump off the 1.65 metre height, which we're at now. But some countries don't worry about that rule. And looking at the fact that this Chinese bloke here, looks like he's doing a single cut. He's got the short jump skis and no arm sling. I got a feeling he hasn't been 38. So, but he's going for that big ramp because he's out there doing it for his country.
He is, Glenn, and we wish him well. First jump for Kei He Wen from China. He's into the bottom. Up off the top. Oh, a nice opening jump. Certainly knows what he's doing there. Oh, come on, stand up. Oh, and he's just gone down there, so we'll just have to wait.
He almost had a chance at a tumble turn out of that one.
He did. I thought we were going to see something spectacular coming up there, Glenn, but well, he looked quite nice off the top.
Yeah, it
nice
was actually,
lift.
yeah. Look, coming in here, I thought,
I was nervous as well, I must
me
say.
too. I didn't want to say with it. He's got no form at all, but he actually hunkered down here, and then he got some nice kick off the top.
There's a few of us in the jump event over the years, Glenn, that we didn't look too good into the first take or even starting out edging in. But by the time we got to the bottom of the ramp, we looked okay.
Now, you had a chance here at one stage of a tumble turn, which would have just made my day in commentary, but he didn't quite pull it off.
Of course, our athletes, 3 jumps. First jump down, that'll be a no score for our Chinese athlete, but he has travelled a long way to be here for these World Championships, so we wish him well on these next 2 jumps. Let's hope he can get a score on the board. The leader is from Malaysia at the moment. Aiden Young has a jump of 16 metres. He is the leader here in the men's jump at the World Waterski Championships so far. Aiden, you can say that for as long as you like.
Yeah, and if you're watching the webcast, we've actually got the wrong graphic up here. The Wen Kai-hee's from China, not Malaysia, so don't want to start an international incident or anything like that. But he is a Chinese athlete. I don't know whether he's going to try out a 3/4 or something like that. It'd be kind of good, especially if he lands a second jump.
I'd like to see it, Glenn.
I'd love to see a 3/4 here.
I think I'd say that was probably up around maybe 25 metres. So certainly a little bit further than young Aiden's 16 metres. So a no score on the first. Coming in for jump number 2. If you just joined us around the world, folks, on a live webcast. This is Open Men's Series 4 jump preliminary round. We've got Open Men's Series 3 coming up. And that'll conclude today's skiing. We have around about 13 or 14 athletes to come. So do your math on that at about 5 minutes a jumper until the end of day 2. But our Chinese athlete coming in for jump number 2. Let's hope he can get up and ride this way away, Glenn.
Sure. Yeah, there's plenty of action to come. And we're just going to talking about action. I'm excited about this. We've got a second jump here from the Chinese competitor in the jump event. Into the ramp he goes. He's got a good edge. Can he boot it? He does. Good kick off the top. Does he land it? Easy landing. Well done.
Yuichi.
Sticks the landing.
Great jump. He actually looks quite good.
Oh, he's sensational. Wen Kai-hee from China. He's just, I reckon it's got to be over 20 metres.
Yep. I'm tipping it to over 20 metres, most certainly, unfortunately.
Well, if I'm the Chinese team coach, I'm looking for a 3/4 cut here on this third and final. He's the sole male jumper and from China. In fact, he might be the only Chinese jumper at all at these Worlds. What a magnificent moment for China. If we could get a big 3/4 cut here and crack maybe up over 30 metres, it'd be sensational.
Yeah, we'll just wait for distance. Looks like up around 17 metres. 17 metres. So if it is 17 metres and official, we do have a new leader from China with one jump to come. But as you said, Glenn, it would be nice. Not many opportunities to come to a World Championship, only every 2 years. One jump to come. Let's see if he can break out a three-quarter here. Edge in, get nice lift off the top. Absolutely mint conditions out there at the moment. And put a personal best. I'm not sure on a personal best here, but it must be getting close up there because that was a lovely jump on the second one. Let's see what he's got here on the third.
No, he's not going for the three-quarter, which I'm slightly disappointed with, but that's okay. Let's see how he goes. He's very relaxed stance here as he just waits for the jump. Leaves it as late as he possibly can. Into the ramp he comes. Good strong edge. Big kick off the top.
Oh, yes. Let go of the hand in the air there. Stuck it behind the back. A little air form. I think that's around 16 or 17 metres for sure. But well done. Great skiing from our Chinese athlete. Kei He-wen from China. Yeah, in fact, just took his left hand off the handle a little early maybe.
Maybe.
And might cost him a little bit of distance there, but great jumping. So 3 athletes down in this Series 4 men's jump. 3 to come. Our next one, or our next 2 athletes from Korea. As you said, Glenn, this is a real Asian affair, this series, with our 2 Korean athletes and finishing off with Yuichi Yamamoto from Japan.
It's time to get serious now, though, I think, Grant, because these guys, these Koreans under Jimmy Jeon's tutelage, absolutely sensational in jumping, because Tae-ho Chang had such a disappointment earlier on in the slalom today. He's Asia's #1 slalom skier, but he just didn't get out of the gate really, and disappointing. So he's going to look to try and make it up a bit in the jump event. It's not his favourite event, but as you see Jimmy Jeon down there just geeing him up a little bit, making sure the boat crew have got it all dialed in. So I think this could be good. I think this is going to be explosive stuff here from Tae-ho Chang.
Yep, he's directing the traffic down there is Jimmy. He's got this guy fired up. He was pretty upset about his slalom performance today, so all of that energy is going to be focused right in here on the jump event. This, Glenn, very well likely be the longest jump at the World Waterski Championship so far. Sadie Ferguson, a female, yesterday went 46.5. If you like your jumping, folks, stick around because this is the exciting end of the afternoon. Our first Korean athlete out. Some great athletes over the years coming out of South Korea as well, Glenn, wasn't it? Or going all the way back to Albert Park. You might have remembered Albert many years ago. He used to come to Moomba, the first ever athlete from Korea to ski at the Moomba Masters in both slalom and jump.
Water skiing in Korea is huge. It's, some of the numbers, the amount of water ski clubs, the full-time professional water ski schools, of course, they have a fairly short season. It's get fairly cold in winter, so fairly short season, but it's amazing. And you know, the boats, obviously lots of nautiques now turning up in Korea, so it's a great growth area for the sport of water skiing.
Very hospitable people over there too, Glenn. I went over there a few times doing some coaching and some wonderful memories over there. I met some great people who I'm still friends with today. They're great people, Koreans. So any on site, annyeonghaseyo to you, because here is your athlete, the first one from Korea this afternoon, three-quarter cut.
Yep, Tae-ho Chang, known to his Western friends as Tony. He comes to the ramp here, jump #1. Oh, jeez.
Little on his heels off the top, wasn't he, Glenn?
Pulled his arms in a little bit.
Maybe a little early in general, in fact. Just relax.
Just a little worried about, I know this guy a little bit, I know his personality, and after a slalom today, I think he's going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at this jump ramp here this afternoon. So we'll just see how he goes here. Hopefully he gets it together on the next one.
Yeah, it looked like he's just a little on his heels as he come off the second wake there, and then handle a little high off the top and put him right on his heels. As on the webcast, we do watch a replay of this coming through there.
38.3. Oh, wow.
38.3 for his first, so well off his personal best.
Yeah, but if you get good lift on that cut, it's 45, 46 easy, isn't it? You know, like he's lost a lot on that ramp. So the Korean Air Force is flying right now. Tae-ho Chang.
Nickname's Tony, is it?
Yeah, Tony, yep.
All right, Tony, let's fly on this second jump. First Korean jumper for these World Waterski Championships for 2019. Certainly not what he was looking for on the first. Let's wish him well on the second one as he edges out nice and wide, coming in for jump number 2. Let's see if we can get him up in the high 40s or even in the 50s. Come on, Tony. Oh, that's a better jump. Still lost his legs a little bit off the top, but a nice float towards the end, Glenn. Certainly a much better jump that time.
Much better. I think around 44, if I had to guess. But a lot left. He could get a lot more out of this ramp, couldn't he? He looked like he might have rushed the turn a little bit there. He probably looked across and he thought he was a little bit late, maybe, I don't know. But pretty strong edge into the bottom. But yeah, just gave a lot back towards the boat and the ramp there.
Yeah, he could certainly bring it down a little bit as well. Hitting around the middle of the ramp there, which really at the end of the day, if he's anticipating, is probably sitting back a little bit and pushing those skis out in front of him off the top of the ramp, which...
43.7, so the old, my guess of 44 wasn't too bad in the end.
So there you go, 43.7. Longest jump here at the men's, for the men, I should say, in Series 4. Of course, we had yesterday Sadie Ferguson from Australia, 46.5, so we still haven't eclipsed that distance just yet. But one jump to come from the Korean athlete. 2 Koreans in Open Men's Series 4 jump, Seong-min Joo, and then Yuichi Yamamoto from Japan will round out Series 4 jump preliminary round. If you've just joined us around the world on our webcast through World Water Skiers and the IWWF, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is our Korean athlete coming in for jump number 3.
Yep, so he's out nice and wide. Nice slow turn. Let's see. Get it together, Teho. Come on, big boot off the top. Oh, jeez. He's left his right ski behind, and he is a lucky boy there to be landing on his skis, because at one stage he looked to be doing a big yard sail out the front. But, well, it hasn't been the best day, to be honest. Tournament skiing for Teho Chung. He's going to finish up with 43.7 metres.
There was commitment there, though, Glenn, and that's what I like.
Exactly.
You don't come to a World Championship very often. They don't come round very often, every 2 years. And he was committed on that third one. He was saying to himself, I have got to have a go here, and he certainly did. But unfortunately, just off the top is where it all went wrong. And as you said, he did nearly come a cropper there, but he pulled it all together right at the last minute. Oh, his right ski seemed like it just... There's something funny on the ramp there. Still, he was a little bit early, but he looked a lot more committed on that one, but a little disappointed as well.
Yeah, well, he is leading now. It's 43.7, gives him the lead at the moment. But, yeah, I think he probably wanted a little more. Yeah, some interesting stuff happening on the ramp there with his super slow-mo. Okay, we're moving on now. Next competitor, also from Korea. We've got Seong-min Joo, the 16-year-old, who has had a magnificent tournament. I think, thinking back, he tricked yesterday. I think it was 5,020. And he slalomed this morning 3 at 12 metres. So, you know, 16-year-old out of Korea. Very good scores, Grant, you've got to say. I mean, he's a big improver, and someone who's going to do very well, I think, in the sport of water skiing. He's going to represent Asia very well.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what this athlete can do. Jimmy Jeong be down at the dock there, directing traffic for all of his Korean athletes. Of course, the veteran, he'll be out a little bit later on in series, probably maybe 2 men's jump, I reckon, for Jimmy.
There he is. We can actually see Jimmy there in the webcast just temporarily. He's down on the point, spotting for his skiers.
He's hot-footed it down here, Glenn. That's a fair distance from the starting dock down in front of the grandstands there.
He's a fit man.
He certainly is.
Okay, young 16-year-old out of Korea. He's a talent, this young man. Good, solid overall skier. Seong-min Joo. Good, strong pull out on that Nautique towboat. Nice and wide. Oh, he looks great. Now, he looks the goods, doesn't he, on the jump skis. Into the bottom he goes. Solid stuff.
Oh.
Look at the form of this kid.
great opening jump.
You know, that's not all that far off 50 metres, Grant. Like, that's a great jump.
Certainly the longest jump of these World Championships. I'd say that's more than Sadie Ferguson's 46.5 from yesterday. We'll wait for the distance. But look at this form, Glenn.
Yeah.
On the webcast replay here from our World Water Skiers, edges into the bottom of the ramp, left ski up, all the way in, just a little bit early, so it can bring it down a lot. But that lift off the top,
wow.
Look at that. Beautiful opening jump, stand-up landing. Excited to hear the distance.
49.0. Yep, 49 flat. So there you go. That's real close to 50.
Well, there it is, the longest jump of the World Water Ski Championships so far from our Korean athlete. He's got 2 jumps to come, and I'm going to call it Glenn and say that he's, I reckon, 53, 54 metres if he got his...
Well, I'll tell you what, you might be right, but his PB before today was 45, so that's a 4-metre PB.
Wow.
So that's what? I mean, how good are the conditions? How good's the site? You know, 4-metre PB.
And how many of these athletes in jump are starting to create these personal bests here on this facility? It's incredible. We've seen, I think, 3 or 4 already. We certainly saw one from yesterday from our female athlete jumper from Australia, and another one here already this afternoon from Korea.
Well, let's see if he can't crack 50. Be the first time ever over 50 if he can. His previous PB was 45. He's open with a 49. He looks the goods. This is a wonderful turn that he has here. Into the ramp he goes. Another big jump.
Oh, I tell you what,
Another
Glenn, that's
same.
up there as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it, that's over 50.
Yeah, it's definitely further. Whether it's 50, we'll have to wait and see.
That is great jumping.
Great technique in the turn. Probably didn't get everything that he could have out of the top of the ramp, but it's still a great jump.
Yeah, what a future this guy has.
48.5, so just back a bit. 48.5.
I thought that looked a little bit further, but maybe slipped a little on the ramp there.
Well, I think there's another 3 or 4 metres in him, you know, with that cut, if he can get the ramp work together. You know, this guy, he's 16. There's a chance he's still young enough for Junior Worlds next year and the Under-17 Worlds in Florida. Geez, I hope he goes. You know, with Asia, you know, this is the sort of guy that could place pretty high in overall if he went along to those World Champs next year.
All right, let's see if we can get him up over 50 metres. 48-metre jump or on the first, and a little bit back on the second. Third jump for the Korean athlete. He's in the lead, longest jump here at the World Water Ski Championships so far. Let's see if we can get up over 50 metres, Glenn.
Yeah, well, let's see. Another great turn. He's a little bit late here because I can see he's working hard. He's pushing harder into the jump. He's gone right out the front. Oh, and here comes the pain. Oh, the young fella. Geez, he's left nothing behind, has he? He's gone for it here at the Worlds.
A medical team in there nice and quickly as well.
I think he looks all
like
right. Looking
okay.
at his body language, I think he's okay. He's maybe a little winded.
Looks
but
a little winded there.
The way he took his skis off, there's no problems with his ankles or knees or anything like that. Wow, this was a bit later, I think, than he really wanted to be here, but he's at a World Champs and he thought, geez, I've got to have a crack here. He's pushing hard as you look at him through the wakes here on the replay. Right into the bottom of the ramp. He's looking to go 50 for the first time. Remember, he's just 16 years of age, so just flattened off a bit, I think, at the bottom of the ramp. And yeah, from here on in, there's nothing saving him. He's trying to roll onto his back and, well, went in pretty well. I'd say he's winded, and that would probably be it. Jarrett Llewellyn just watching there. He's got a grimace on his face, but geez, when you're 16, Jarrett, you bounce back pretty fast. I think it'll be all right.
And credit to our safety team as well. As soon as that athlete hit the water, the boat came in very, very quickly. Was straight onto the athlete. Well done to the team there. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our Korean athlete. That's a wonderful performance. Coming to a World Championship, he was committed on his third jump. He was going as hard as he possibly could, and unfortunately, he went straight out the front and was not what he was hoping for. But he is the leader. and hopefully he is okay. So our team will take him back down to the starting dock. The Korean team will get around him. He looks like he's a little bit winded. Sore and sorry for himself as well, Glenn, more than likely. And
yeah, I think on balance, I mean, you never want to crash, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but he's just got a 4 metre PB. So I think once he takes a couple of aspirin and thinks about it, he's going to be pretty happy about today's work. He's started the day with a 45 metre PB, and he's got a 49. And although that looks sore, he did, to me, kind of entered the water not too bad there. At least his ankles and knees and everything are okay. It's easy for me to say sitting up here in the air-conditioned commentary box, of course. I'm not the one out there on the water.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at him there. He's just moved his right foot up. I'm just a little bit concerned about his left one there. He's got that back up on the platform now as well. And probably very, very sore indeed. But some good jumping. Very unfortunate the third jump there. We don't like to see that. Of course, we are in a dangerous sport, of course. And again, it was wonderful to see our safety crew get in there nice and quickly to our athlete to make sure he's okay. Safety, of course, is the #1 priority, Glenn.
Absolutely. So they've the towboats just had to go back and pick up his helmet. So we will have a slight delay here, I think. Be interesting. We might have to get the boat to do a phantom pass. I'm not sure. But great stuff. A world champs always brings the best out, and that's sensational. Like I said, 4 metre PB.
Now you got to have a crack, Glenn.
You do.
At the World Championships.
Absolutely.
They only come around every 2 years. That's why they're here. That's why these athletes compete. All throughout the years, they do it to come to the big dance, to the World Championships. And he can go home and say, look, I not only had, I might have gone out the front, but I've created a new personal best and a wonderful score also for my team in Korea as well.
So the boat's just going to head up to the northern end, do a bit of a phantom pass, go back to the start dock, get our Japanese competitor, Yuichi Yamamoto. He, of course, 36 years of age. So he's been to a few events before. 54 metre PB though, Grant. So he's got the creds.
Yeah, that's a great jump. 54 metres. And the way things are going, Glenn, if we've had a number of personal bests already by some of our athletes, so if 54 is where it is, who knows where the distance might be today. Absolutely ideal conditions. It's glassed off a little bit. It'd be nice if someone can just turn that little fan on down at the starting dock end and send the headwind back again. But all in all, though, it's absolutely picture perfect out there at the moment. So certainly heating up, Glenn. Obviously today we've got one series of jump to come. That's Open Men's Series 3 with 10 competitors after Yamamoto from Japan. And then tomorrow we start to move into some of the higher series. Series 3, 2 and 1 in slalom. And looking down the list here, Glenn, there's some really exciting slalom skiers coming out tomorrow in the ladies. And it's going to be a big day skiing tomorrow. Lots on the card tomorrow. But they should all be here, Glenn. I know many of them have been training down at the Godzilla area. Have you had a chance to go down there yourself and have a look?
No, I haven't.
Pretty impressive little practice venue down there. And that's an arm off of this main lake we're at the moment. So if you're watching the webcast from home and want to know what we're talking about Godzilla, that is the name of the training venue where many of our athletes have been training over the last, not just few days, but been 2 or 3 weeks prior to the World Championships here. One of the beautiful Nautiques has been available for them down there, and that training will still continue tomorrow as well for some of our men's slalom skiers and Series 2 and 1 trickers as well.
2 + 1 is...
Yes, the boat, Chief Judge asked the boat to do a couple of phantom passes just to get the conditions the same for all of the skiers, which is great to see. Yes, so next competitor from Japan, Yuichi Yamamoto. He's the last skier in this Series 4 of jump. Personal best of 54 metres.
So we started off with this series with the 2 athletes from Malaysia Aiden Young 15 metres, then Aiden Young 16 metres. We had the Chinese athlete who jumped a little bit further at 18 metres. And then Tony from Korea, 43.7. And our leader so far, Seong-min Joo from Korea, 49 metres. An unfortunate fall on his last. The boat has done a couple of laps to ensure that the conditions are absolutely identically the same for every single athlete. Condito is committed to doing that. Glenn, I was at the skiers meeting as a team manager for our country, Australia, and a wonderful job he's doing explaining all of the relevant necessities to all of the athletes and support staff here. And doing an amazing job, all of our judges and officials so far. Right, personal best of 54 metres. Glenn, where are we calling it?
Well, I think there's no reason why he can't do that again, and maybe even a little further. Conditions are good. He's 36 years of age. He's got plenty of experience. I'm sure he would have skied here before. I'm sure he's been around a while. Would have had Asian championships, that sort of thing here on site. So he should know the site well.
Good looking helmet too. I love the white helmet, the blue stripe. Looks like a go fast, go far helmet, Glenn.
Yeah,
go fast, go far helmet, that one. Let's wait and see.
I mean, I don't know what sort of form he's been in. Of course, I haven't followed him that closely. You know, the 54 metres, you never know. It might have been from a few years ago, or it could have been recently. I'm not sure. But I guess the first thing he wants to do is get ahead of the 49, which is current lead.
Yeah, it's great to have all of the athletes' details in the World Water Skiers profiles. So if you're an athlete at home and you haven't updated your profile recently, or you haven't created a profile, jump on there and do that. It's an amazing opportunity for all of the announcers around the world and everyone to have a look at exactly all about you and your profile and your sponsors and all of those important details. And all of our athletes have created those here at the World Waterski Championships here in Kuala Lumpur. First double cut
Full double
of these World Championships in men's jump coming up from Yamamoto from Japan.
Yeah, full double. So it's about to get real here, folks. The Japanese athlete, big old turn here, makes his way into the ramp. He's got plenty of speed. Big kick off the top. Oh, that is a ripper.
Great jump.
Sensational stuff. Right around that 49 metre mark, I think, which is the mark set by Seong-min Joo from Korea, of course, our previous athlete. Looks similar sort of jump to his opening jump, which was about 49.
Actually cutting out there on his cut out wide, Glenn. I was getting a little bit nervous there on the form, but once he turned and started edging into the ramp, he looked very much at home. All the way in, great lift off the top here. A little bit early, in fact. He could bring that down nicely. So whatever this jump is, look at that airform.
Great airform.
Beautiful. No wonder he's been 54 plus. We'll wait for the distance. 48 metres on the first. 48 metres. So our Korean athlete's still in the lead on 49, but gee whiz, he's got a lot further distance in him than that.
Bring it down a couple of metres. Maybe because he didn't look great on his counter cut. Maybe just get a bit more out of his counter cut. Could easily go up over 50 metres.
Yeah, it was a strange looking counter cut, really wasn't it? It made me a little bit nervous in relation to what we might be anticipating when at the bottom of the ramp, but he really did look really comfortable, and he's obviously had some great coaching wherever he's been, because right off the top he looked so much at home. But here he comes again, Yamamoto from Japan, 48 metres on the first.
It's a fraction later, I think it might be a metre later. A little bit stronger on the pull out here, so this is going to be a later setup, I think, for Yuichi. Makes the turn into the ramp, he goes. Good strong edge into the bottom, up he goes. Big lift off the top. It's not as far though. Not quite sure why, but maybe didn't quite carry the same speed through the ramp.
Yeah, I think what you'll see here, Glenn, he's starts off quite strong in the turn here. Really quick turn, and then ends up quite early off the top of the ramp, hitting more or less to the middle to the left side. So he's got a lot in him on this third jump. You hear the roar of the Nautique that time as he was coming in. And you can see here
Yeah,
lots
plenty
and
of
lots of
time,
time on the webcast between the second wake and the bottom there, hitting left of centre, so he can bring it down quite a distance on his cut. In fact, even if he could just slow his turn down,
Yeah.
just keep that a little slower and
It's
bring
the
him
hardest
down
thing
the
to,
course
know,
a little
to,
bit.
to do though in water skiing, isn't it? Because you're looking across at that ramp coming up, and you know sometimes you can panic a little bit and think, geez, I've got to get there. But you've got to have that confidence and intestinal fortitude, I guess, to just wait that little bit longer and slow
Never
things
easy
down.
coming out after a guy who's just had a
Yeah,
nasty crash
absolutely.
like that as well.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times in my career, and never a nice thing to do. And we do hope that Korean athlete is okay as well. Looked like he would be, but one more jump for Yuichi Yamamoto from Japan.
Coaches see it on the screen.
46.5, I think that second
Okay,
one was.
46.5.
46.5.
Here he comes, jump number 3. Makes his turn for the jump ramp, and he goes. He needs to be a bit later here. A big kick off the top. Oh, geez, fluttering out over the tips of those skis. And it's about that 47, 48 metre mark, I think. I just think he ended up a bit early again.
Yeah, I
Out
think he
there,
did. I do
Grant.
think that was a little bit further. I think this might be up over 50.
You reckon?
He was sort of floundering around
Yeah,
the air
yeah,
there towards the end
flapping
there, making me
Jonathan
rather
Livingston
nervous.
Seagull.
But,
457.
Yeah, 45.7
okay.
down a little
Yeah,
bit.
again, a little bit early
Watch
there
these
as well. So
skis here towards the end of this flight.
oh, just pressed over the top there a little bit. Lucky he's on those big ones, Glenn.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. 45.7, so I was well off the pace. Calling that over 50, I do apologise, but a leader so far, still the Korean athlete at 49 metres.
Okay, so we're going to go to we're straight into the next seed by the look of it. No boat driver change. We've got Ukrainian athlete Damir Filatraf. Now this guy is, I think he's around 15 years of age. We'll refresh our computer, but I've got a feeling he hasn't filled out his bio, so I'm going to make some stuff up. But I was at the Junior Worlds in Spain this time last year, and young Damir, I think at that stage was about 14, so we're going to say he's 15 now. He's a tough little customer. He's a tough little rooster. He actually had a bit of a jump crash at Junior Worlds last year, and the Ukrainian team coach, I think it's Yuri, got him to get back up on those skis, and he went out and got a score for the Ukrainian team. So he's a tough little rooster.
That's what we like to see. We're at the big dance, as we keep saying, Glenn, the World Championships, and all of these athletes have been so committed so far, which has been fantastic to see. They know what it means to themselves and also to their countries. As we're just a quick recap of our leaders so far. Seong-min Joo from Korea. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that correctly. Glenn, you might be able to help me there. And then we have Yuichi Yamamoto with 48 metres. So our Korean athlete in the lead at 49. Then our other Korean athlete at 43.7. China at 18 metres. And then our two athletes first up in men's series 4 was the Aiden and Adam Young at 15 and 16 metres.
Yeah, so Damir Filatraf now. Jump number 1. Personal best 43.5. Probably only just moved up from the 48 kilometre per hour to 51 kilometre per hour speed. So whether he gets any more out of this ramp because of that. Well, another skier that kind of checks themselves a bit as they come up to the top of their flight, but around that what are we going to go, 36, 37 metres, I think, opening jump.
Yeah, reasonable opening jump here as we have a look at the replay on the World Water Skiers webcast. Edges into the bottom there, left ski up, and just a little off on his heels off the top there, and just transferred a little bit further back over the front as he hit the top of the flight there, but landed it okay. And we'll wait for a distance to come through on his first jump.
Yeah, 38.3 I think I heard, 38.3. sounds about right, I think. 38.3. Because you never really quite know what speed these guys are going at. Well, we don't up here in commentary, because it makes a big difference to the distance for these junior skiers. I mean, last year he was jumping at 48 kilometres per hour. This year, for regular competition, he'll be jumping at 51 kilometres per hour. He could, in theory, be jumping as fast as 57 in this event, because it is an open tournament. I doubt that he would make that big jump. Maybe, though. Maybe he's gone to 54k. It's hard to tell. So that's the sort of thing that can get you a bit of a PB, you know, quite a big PB at times if you can handle that extra speed. Here he goes, jump number 2. Really well balanced on those jump skis, isn't he? Pulls out nice and wide. Good turn, into the bottom of the ramp he goes, good speed, good solid lift,
yeah, that's
great
better.
airform. Really good jump. Stuff around that 41 metre mark. I think it's a metre or two above 40, so he might even get 42 metres, I reckon, on this jump. We'll just wait and see.
Yeah, looked a lot nicer on this one, didn't he, Glenn? Edging in, right, really nice lift off the top, and a nice float as well. Hitting right around the middle of the ramp into the bottom. Presses out over his skis on that second one, and we'll wait for a distance. So lovely second jump. 42.9. So you were right on the mark, Glenn, around the 42 metre mark. 42.9 with one jump to come.
Yeah, so like his personal best, 43.5. So he's 0.6 of a metre off his personal best. So he's in the realms of PB territory here. He might just pull something off here on jump number 3.
Pretty good little tricker too for his age. 7,460 points as a personal best. Lots of great athletes coming out of Ukraine these days. Glenn?
Absolutely. The program that they're running, actually we see the Ukrainian team coach down there on the banks. Yuri, he certainly knows what he's doing. He's getting some real talent. Here we go, third jump now, Damir Filatraf. See if we can't get a PB. It'd be great to get a PB at a World Champs, and we've already seen one PB today, or a couple actually. Let's see how he goes. Makes his turn. Well, after the 600 football, it suggests to me he's probably still jumping at junior speed at 51k. Here we go. He's got some speed on this one. Into the ramp he goes. Another big kick off the top.
Maybe not quite as far,
No,
I don't think,
not
Glenn.
as far.
Don't quite think he had the pull off the top there. Didn't quite get the nice float as he got on his second jump.
He must have ended up a bit earlier or something there on that one. That's because you're right. It's quite a bit less than jump number 2.
Yeah, let's have a look at the World Water Skis here. Replay here. Turns, edges in. Let's see where he hits the ramp. Left ski comes down. Yeah, didn't get quite the lift off the top, and left hand came off the handle there a little early as well. Consequently, we'll pull his distance back a little bit. We'll wait for that. 43.8.
Wow, so we're completely wrong. That's
So it was a little further, so well done.
That's a PB, in fact.
43.8. A new personal best by 0.3 of a metre. So another personal best being broken here. Glenn, what's going on? This is incredible.
Well, it's a combination, isn't it? It's these sensational towboats, the Nautic towboats, and of course this magnificent site that we've got here, and also it's just that kind of, I don't know, the World Champs brings the best out in the athletes. They train, they peak, they want to go hard, so it's just sensational. I think almost half of the field so far have had personal bests in this jump event.
Yeah, I'm super excited over the next few days, Glenn, to see what some of our Series 2 and 1 athletes can do as well. If we've had half a dozen personal bests in jump in Series 3 and 4 already, are we going to crack 70 metres here at these World Championships? If we get conditions like this, I'm going to call it and say absolutely we will.
Yeah, I think so. The course record, of course, 69 metres by Freddie Krueger, but that was 10 years ago. There's a lot more skiers around now that can go that far, of course. So we go now to Jae-young Park. Now he, I think I'm right in saying, other than Jimmy John, he'll be Korea's top jumper. So he's the second ranked jumper out of Korea at these World Champs. So we should see something pretty big from him.
So Seong-min Joo from Korea still in the lead with 49 metres, followed by Yuichi Yamamoto at 48 metres, and then Damir Filatraf from Ukraine with 43.8. They are your top three in this open men's jump this afternoon. Around about 6 or 7 athletes to come, which will round out day number 2. But Jae-young Park from Korea coming in for jump number 1.
Yeah, 3/4 cut to start here, and not a huge pull out, but I got a feeling we'll see something big here. He's so strong, very strong in the upper body is Jae-young. Into the ramp he goes. Big solid jump, and
yeah, nice opening jump. Looks a strong athlete too, doesn't he, Glenn?
yeah, he's I said in
Muscling his
slalom
way to
earlier
the bottom
today, I
there.
think he pushes a bit of tin. I think he spends a bit of time in the gym.
I think you're right. A few of these athletes actually back at the Athlete Hotel, the Everly here, beautiful hotel. Many of them are staying. Lots of pictures on Instagram and Facebooks and things have been pumping the iron down there in the gym there. Didn't used to see that in my day,
No,
Glenn.
exactly.
No, we'd be up at the breakfast area, eggs and bacon, and making sure we're getting the right energy in. Well, little on his heels off the top there on the first one, so that'll bring his distance back a little bit.
And he's, you know, it's a fairly narrow sort of a 3/4, but he still got a fairly decent distance. Have we heard the distance yet? I thought it was somewhere in the high 40s. 47, yeah. 48.7, exactly. So 48.7 metres off, what, a bit of a narrow 3/4 that he sort of got on his heels a bit. So
Yep.
he looks like a 55-metre jumper. Unfortunately, he hasn't filled out his worldwide water skiers or world water skiers profile, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, don't forget to do that, guys. If you are on the banks or watching around the world with our webcast and you're coming to these World Championships, if you are competing, jump online, World Water Skiers, and you've got a profile there. Fill all your details out in. That will help us here and also at other future events you're going to in relation to your personal bests and all of your personal information on you. A wonderful opportunity to promote yourself and our sport. So here he comes in, Korean athlete,
Yep,
jump number
Jae-young
2.
Park. Let's see what he can do. Oh, geez, he rushes the turn a bit. He's just too late. He had to let that go.
Don't often see that, Glenn,
No,
these
you don't.
days, do we? That was can be quite dangerous, but I think he may have kept within the rules there, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. Only just. Because if you make a cut towards the ramp, if you get over the second wake and continue to cut towards the ramp and pass up on the inside, there can be a disqualification. But I'm pretty sure he stopped himself in time there.
Yeah, let's hope so. Obviously wasn't comfortable once he got out towards his turn here.
At some stage here, he makes a look at the ramp and he's like, oh, geez, I'm in trouble
No,
here.
thank you. That's exactly right.
So here we go. He's about to
And-
make his look at the ramp and he's like,
Whoa.
oh, nah.
Nope.
I don't want it. Yeah, so I mean, that's fine. There's nothing illegal about that. He was stayed on the correct side of the boat course. Fine there. It does mean, though, that he's down to just one jump to come. He's got a 48.7 on the board, which is fine, but he's a 55-metre jumper, Jae-young Park. So he'll want to get a score up around that 55 metres, I'm sure. So he's leaving it down to one last jump.
Yeah, we wish him well in this third and final. Then, of course, it's going to take probably a jump over 60 metres or so to make the final here at the World Championship. So probably highly unlikely he's going to make it. So we wish him well in this third and final to see how far he can go. 49 metres is the lead so far.
So he pulls out wide. I think he's a little wider on this one, but stronger pull out. He's waiting as long as he can. Makes his turn. Looks like a good turn. I like the look of this one so far. Under the ramp he goes. Splits on the ramp a bit. It is a little further though. It will be right, I think just a shade under 50. I think it'll be one of those annoying 49.7, 49.8 metre jumps, I think. But
it's going to be up there. It's going to be close.
yeah.
He did look a lot more comfortable. Seemed a little bumpy there before his turn, but it does smoothen and press hard into the bottom. Got him some nice little on his heels. And 48.5 for 8.5. So our Korean athlete Seong-min Joo from Korea is still in the lead at 4.
It's a little less than I thought. It's about a metre less than I thought. Now the interesting thing is that Jae-young Park, who's the big strapping in the gym, he's just been beaten by a 16-year-old teammate. So that could be bragging rights for the young 16-year-old. Okay, well, we're going from Korea, we're going to New Zealand now. Young George Donaldson. And excited to see this. I'm sure there's a lot of New Zealand fans at home. What do we got here? We got just a little after 6 p.m. So there should be plenty of Kiwis tuning in, turning the news off and watching George Donaldson jump. Now his personal best is about 52. I'm just going to pull it up. I think it's 51 something. 51.2 metres from George Donaldson.
All right, Kiwis, get ready. Here's your guy, George Donaldson. Personal best of 51 metres. Our lead so far, 49 metres. Tell us a little bit more about George. Glenn, where does he ski?
Yeah, okay, so he's from the South Island. He skis down at Lake Hood, which is in Ashburton, about an hour south of Christchurch. Skis a little bit at Lake Crichton, which is a bit closer to where he's going to school at the moment. He's going to university now in Christchurch in the South Island. He did ski under 21 Worlds in Canada, when was that, 6 weeks or so ago, and he spent, in and around that time, he spent about a month skiing with Kai Lead at Ski Fluid, so he's...
Yeah, Glenn, I can tell you what
absolutely.
a great jumper Kyle was. And Kiwi, if you watch...
Kyle's been watching a bit of the skiing, but it's 2 a.m. I think right now, and backing Z's, I think he'll be asleep.
I think he'd be up,
You reckon
Glenn.
he'd be up?
I've spent a few 2 a.m.s with Kyle
Yeah,
over
but
the years. There's a very good chance he
have
might
changed,
be.
though.
Probably a slightly different circumstance, but
Here we go, George Donaldson, full double cut, just before the 6. Good style here, a little edge away, makes the turn, little rush in the turn maybe, coming into the ramp, up he goes, solid jump.
Nice jump.
Very tidy jump. That's going to be 47, maybe 48 metres. That's a good opening jump from
That's
George
up there.
Donaldson.
That's a great opening jump from George. Gee, looked really nice right from the start here, didn't he? Nice slow turn. Let the arms out a little bit. Extra pull off the top. Just a little bit left of centre as well into the bottom. And some nice airform there on jump number 1. Great opening jump from George.
Yeah, that's a great opening jump. I think he can bring it down a bit though. I think there's a bit more left in the tank. We'll see what he comes up with here. 48.1, that is a great opening jump from George. I think he'll be real happy with that for an opener, because he seemed to do it pretty easy. So hopefully we can build on this.
Yep, just a nice little nerve settler there, Glenn. 48.1, personal best of 51.2 metres. So lots of personal bests in jump already from our athletes in series 4 and 3, and also yesterday we had some great personal bests as well. So let's hope we can get George up over 51.2 metres. Current leader 49 metres.
We're overdue a 50-metre jump, I think, Grant. I think we need one, and hopefully it's going to be the next jump here from George.
Little tiny little bit of a cross breeze coming in now, so maybe that's why some of those guys in the air just as they're coming down, Glenn, is that the right ski is just coming down a little bit differently than what it was with a slight headwind. But still, it's magnificent conditions out there.
Here we go, full double cut. And he hasn't really changed his approach much down there on the 6. Let's see. Makes his turn. Into the ramp he goes. Plenty of speed into the bottom. Big kick off the top. Yeah,
Oh, come on.
he hasn't landed that. I don't know if it's going to matter though, because I don't know that it was actually any further, Grant. I guess we
No, I
might
think
measure it.
slightly down on his first one there. Unfortunately, he lost the handle there.
Just watch the replay here. Good turn. He's coming into the ramp now. Yeah, well, I mean, he was right down on that bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, nice airform too. Good future. How old's George?
These boys are about 19, I think. Maybe going on 20.
All right, Kiwis, get behind your man, George Donaldson out there. One jump to come. If you're sitting at home in New Zealand, maybe what's the time? About 6 o'clock over there, Glenn? They'll probably have
after
maybe
6.
a glass of wine or something there. Maybe a crack of beer or something.
Bit of good New Zealand wine.
Yep.
Wednesday night, the whole country, of course, in mourning because the All Blacks lost Australia on Saturday night. So.
I was never going to bring it up, Glenn. I had no intention of bringing that up whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yep, but seeing you've mentioned it, it wasn't a great win, wasn't it?
It was. No, it was well played to the Aussies. That's all I'm going to say at this stage.
Well, there's another game coming up this weekend.
There is another game this weekend.
Lots of sport actually around the world at the moment. Of course, we're here at the World Waterski Championships. We've got all kinds of things going on around the world. Bledisloe Cup in New Zealand on over the weekend. Of course, the Ashes happening over there in England. We'll have a good chat to the Poms about that over the next few days as well, hopefully. But George Donaldson coming in for his third and final jump.
Yeah, he would really like to jump 50 metres here, and it's well within his rights. Let's see if he can't get it together. He's been sort of stuck in that around that high 40s a lot lately, so let's see how he goes.
Come on, George.
Jump number 3, makes his turn, looks aggressive on this one. Into the ramp he goes. No, he slipped out, back on his heels. And I think his first is going to remain his best, which from memory was 48, I think was it 48.7 or something, his opening jump?
Yep, that's right, just behind our leaders. So our Korean athlete Seong-min Joo from Korea still has the lead at 49 metres.
Okay, we'll just watch the replay to see possibly what went wrong here. Obviously slipped back on his heels off the top of the ramp. Looks to be going okay here. This maybe just starting to get a little choppy there, or maybe a little bit of a cross breeze.
Yeah, it's interesting. The wind has just switched and turned around a little bit from a slight head breeze to coming across the athletes on their left shoulder as they're heading into the ramp. So you wouldn't call it really a tailwind, but it's more of a cross breeze. But certainly once they do get up into the air, it would make them feel slightly less comfortable than like a nice little head breeze as they come off the top. But still very nice conditions. We've got around about 7 or so competitors to go.
Yep, next competitor, of course, from Peru is Rafael Diaz. And, well, the Peruvian's coached by the great Jimmy Siemens, of course, so he'll be on site somewhere. He'll be geeing the Peruvian competitor up. Probably been on the dock with him now. He'll head down to the point and he'll help Rafael out. Rafael, of course, goes to school now at Rollins College in Orlando. I think it's, well, somewhere near Orlando anyway, Central Florida. So he skis then, of course, with Doreen Llewellyn and plenty of other great skiers. So
some amazing skiers out of that school over the years,
crazy.
Glenn, isn't there? You think of the names.
Well, your own Josh Bryan, of course.
That's exactly right.
Yep. Yep, so he's 21 years of age from Lima in Peru. As we said, resides in Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. His best jump, 55.5 metres. Okay, so that's a little further. I was going to say his best jump was 52 or 53, but 55.5 is really starting to get up there. So,
yep, leaderboard there with our Korean athlete in the lead at 49 metres, followed by his teammate at 48.7, and George Donaldson from New Zealand sitting in third at 48.1. Not a jump up over 50 metres at these World Championships yet from the ladies or the men. Glenn, let's hope this athlete here from Peru can give it to us.
Well, I reckon he
right
will.
now on jump number 1.
I reckon he will. I think he will. He's an entertainer, this young guy. He doesn't mind having a bit of a dig at the jump ramp, which is great to see. Pulls out strong on the towboat. Just a 3/4 cut, but that doesn't matter. If he gets it all together, he can still go over 50 metres. Solid stuff into the bottom of the ramp. He just lets that one go.
Yeah, not comfy on that one, Glenn.
I think he's signalling to his coach to say he needs to bring it down. He was too early. I don't know exactly. It's just a little bit of a shame because that wind has just swung a wee bit from, as you said, Grant, from head to crosswind. And even that really isn't very windy at all. It's just got a little bit of distance to sort of... In fact, I don't think it's the wind so much. I think it's just a little bit of chop there coming into the base of the ramp. It wouldn't take much though, the wind just to swing back towards the south a little bit and you'd be back into a headwind situation. So here's Rafael Diaz now from Peru. Geez,
Yeah, look
Oh,
how
he
nice
was
and
late,
early
I think.
there, wasn't he?
yeah, he passed that up pretty early on, so that generally means they were a lot later than they wanted to be. So
2 jumps to come. Let's hope he can get it together on those. As Glenn earlier said, personal best of 55.5 metres.
yeah, and we've had 3 or 4 PBs already today, so that's, you know, the odds are on.
Yep, leader so far at 49 metres after Rafael. We've got Hugh Donaldson. Then Freak School from the Netherlands. Tanguy Dalen from France. Louis Duplan-Fribourg from France. Then Alexander Seminoff from Ukraine. And Marek Melnik from Slovakia. So around about 6 or 7 athletes to round out day number 2 at these IWWF World Waterski Championships here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Okay, here he comes now. He's going to go for the 3/4 cut. I think he's going to just cut a little earlier here, I think, because on the replay sort of showed that he might have been a bit late for that jump, for that approach. Here we go. Pull out wide on that 3/4 cut. Makes his turn. Looks fairly positive here into the bottom of the ramp. Big kick off the top. Great air for him.
Oh, yeah, the nice jump.
That's a great jump. That will be close to 50. Maybe not quite there, but very close. And I'm going to call it. I think we might have a new leader here.
I think I'm with you, Glenn. I think that's going to be very, very close indeed. Much, much nicer start here. Nice slow turn. Extends the arm, gets the pull all the way through the second wake, and then he had some really nice lift off the top as well. All right on the corner also.
Yeah.
Lots of pull there, and that's why he got that extra bit of float as well. Extend it out there, and we'll wait for a distance. 49 metres is the current leader.
How far is that, folks? It's 50. 50 flat, is it? 50 on the dot. So there we go. First 50-metre jump.
There we go. Well done. 50 metres.
That's excellent. You know, you only just really seem to make it onto the side of the ramp there. That's interesting. Sometimes when you do a 3/4 cut, I guess particularly when you're cutting into the breeze a bit like that, and that big 6.2 litre Nautique motor gets hold of you, sometimes you can get pulled up a little bit, can't you, Grant?
And I think he did a little bit. I think
Yeah.
he really got pulled into the bottom right-hand corner there a little bit. If he can stay down a little longer, he will certainly get even some additional float as well. He certainly didn't get absolutely everything into the bottom then. Slightly pulled up, so he's got a longest jump of 55.5. 50 metres, he is in the lead here in Open Men's Series 3's jump. Let's see what he can do on his third.
Yeah, he'd love to get another 2 or 3 metres, I think. So let's just see. He's waiting as long as he can. Nice turn into the bottom of the ramp. He goes. Big kick up the top. Oh, that's got to be further,
great
surely.
jump.
Oh, it is. It's a ripper. That'll be 52, maybe even 53 metres from Rafael Diaz from Lima, Peru. And he has taken the lead big time here, I believe.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. This is a great third and final jump. Well and truly up over 50 metres. 50 metres on the second. Edged nice and hard. Stayed down all the way into the bottom through the second wakes here into the bottom. Right on the bottom corner. Lots of pull off the top. See that pull right there, Glenn. That's what gave him the extra float.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait for the distance. I think it's going to be 52, maybe even 53. But I could be getting a little bit excited here. We'll wait and see. 54.9. It's even further than I thought. Look, PB's 55.5. He's just up 54.9 off a 3/4. That is an easy way to get 55 metres, you'd have to say, for a young guy.
Rafael, if you're listening, well done. Congratulations.
Wow.
Fantastic jumping. 54.9 metres.
Sensational stuff.
If you look closely there, Glenn, that was on that replay we just saw on the World Water Skiers replay. One of the first athletes to really get close to the bottom right-hand corner. Lots of commitment, lots of pull right into the bottom and then straight off the top. And you can see all that extra float that he got as well. It was exactly what took him that extra 5 metres ahead of our Korean athlete back on 49 metres.
Okay, we're going to another Kiwi now. It's Hugh Donaldson, because we had George's twin up just a little bit earlier. Now Hugh is a good jump. I think 54.2 is his best, which he achieved. Yeah, this is an old his profile saying 51.8, but I know he went 54.2 in Orlando at Kylie's site about 3 weeks ago. So, geez, if he can get somewhere near that, it's going to be pretty exciting.
So who's the better of the jumpers here, Glenn? George or Hugh?
Now, Hugh is the better of the jumpers at the moment. Anyway, he generally has been right since they started. It's funny how it works out like that. Well, you were a twin yourself, of course. You and your twin Andrew.
Yep.
Pretty closely matched scores, I guess. In the end, would you say Andrew was a better slalomer and you were a better tricker and jumper, or is that?
No, I was far better in all three, Glenn.
Hey, okay.
He was nothing more than my cheaper imitation my entire career. All right, Hugh Donaldson. G'day to all the Kiwis at home watching in early evening over your way. Here he comes, your man Hugh Donaldson, jump number 1.
Yeah, big full double, and this doesn't look like a bad approach at this stage. Into the ramp he comes, and he passes it. Not sure why, but he obviously wasn't happy with the timing.
Yeah, nice setup. Yeah, that wind has remained fairly consistent over the last sort of 20 or 30 minutes, Glenn, just on their sort of left shoulder as they're coming in to the ramp. It'd be nice to see it swing around to come onto the front of their left shoulder rather than where it is at the moment, but it has been absolutely ideal all day. We had some amazing conditions yesterday, and it's been an absolute repeat of today as well. Of course, we've only got 5 more competitors to go till we conclude day number 2 here at the IWWF World Waterski Championships. Lots of action coming your way tomorrow as well, starting at 8 a.m. local time here in Kuala Lumpur. We'll move into some of the higher series, and it's pretty exciting stuff to see some of the big girls and boys out there, Glenn.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, because tomorrow morning at the top 3 seeds of women's slalom, it's going to be absolutely huge. And we will be interested to see what they have to ski to make it through to the final. You would expect it's probably going to be midway down 11 metre or so, maybe even a little more. It probably depends a little bit on conditions, but the conditions were great this morning for men's slalom elimination round, so hopefully we get similar stuff. Here's Hugh Donaldson, passed on his first jump. He's needs to put something together here for New Zealand. We want to see a plus 50 metre jump here from Hugh. Makes his turn, into the ramp he goes, up and over, spreads a bit on the ramp. No, that's not a great distance there from Hugh. He slumps his head back over his shoulders. He's disappointed in himself. I think he was a little bit early, and then it kind of compounded on itself. Because he was early, he didn't really carry any speed through the ramp. And
a little bit shallow all round, really, Glenn. He was a little, looked like he could have really started a little wider than what he did. He just really started quite narrow, and at the end of the day, he really didn't get that pull off the top. Ended up quite early into the bottom, and wasn't what he was looking for, but he's still got 1 jump to come.
44.9, 44.9. 1 to come.
We've certainly seen a lot of the athletes this afternoon leave it to their last jump. I think we've had 2 or 3 that have jumped fairly ordinary their first 2 jumps and come out and jump close to personal bests on their 3rd and final. So Hugh has that opportunity in front of him right now.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, personal best 54.2. I mean, we have seen quite a few PBs here today, but even if we didn't get a PB from Hugh, it'd be nice to get something up over 50 at the very least. Help out, well, make him happier, plus help out the New Zealand team score. Here he comes, Hugh Donaldson from the South Island of New Zealand.
Looks like the wind's just turned around a little bit more of a headwind
as
well, Glenn, which is going to favour Hugh greatly here. So come on, Hugh.
If he can get late enough and get enough speed into it, his conditions are really good right now.
That looks better. Come on.
Here we go. Hugh Donaldson driving hard into the jump ramp. Big kick off the top. Well, that's definitely going to be further. I don't know if it's going to be quite 50, but it's definitely in the high 40s.
Yeah, definitely a better jump, Glenn. He looked much more comfortable on that one. Not quite sure if it's going to be 50 metres, but
At the very least, he might have beaten his twin brother, George, by a small margin, which gives him bragging rights.
absolutely. 48.1 from George. We'll wait for the third and final from Hugh. So 5 athletes to come to round out Open Men's Series 3 jump. Next out will be athlete from the Netherlands, Freak School.
Perfectly normal name. With nothing,
Yeah, no problem with me, Glenn.
Great
Tanguy
name.
Dayland, Louis Duplan-Fribourg from France, Alexander Seminoff from Ukraine, and Marek Melnik from Slovakia. You really have to get your tongue around some of these names, don't you, Glenn, when you come to an international tournament?
I've been butchering the pronunciation of names for 30 years now in commentary. It's not easy. How far? 48.9 for Hugh Donaldson. 48.9, which
Wow, it goes into third place.
Yeah, it goes into
Hugh,
third place.
48.9. Probably a
Beats
little
his-
disappointing with a personal best up
Yeah.
over 50.
It is probably a little disappointing, but he does manage to beat his brother, which will keep him happy.
And again, that wind just turning around a little bit into a straight headwind now, which all of the jumpers will very much like to see. So let's hopefully that can remain consistent for the next 15 or 20 minutes or so while we wrap up these last 5 or 6 athletes. Rafael from Peru still got the lead by 5.9 metres over our Korean athlete, and then Hugh Donaldson in third position with 48.9.
Yeah, and
We did say, Glenn, we might see a 60-metre jump out here this afternoon. These are the guys that can potentially do it these last 5 or 6.
Yeah, and conditions are pretty good right now. We've got that headwind back. Everything's set now for some big freak school from Netherlands. Of course, they've put the New Zealand flag up here, but we'll claim him with a name like that. He can come and be a Kiwi if he wants. Here we go. Freak school now. Jump number 1 into the ramp. He comes. Up he goes. Tidy stuff. That is a nice tidy jump. Around that 43, 44 metre mark, I think, to open up for freak school.
Yep, nice tidy opening jump from Freak there on his first one. He'll look to bring that one down a little bit on the second and see if he can push up around 50 metres or so. Nice slow start. And accelerated all the way in and got some nice lift off the top as well. A little bit left of centre as he hit the middle of the ramp, so he can certainly bring it down and get some more pull off the top. .44.1 for his opening jump.
Yeah, of course, this webcast, of course, is brought to us, sponsored by World Waterskiers as well. Must mention them. Thanks very much to the sponsorship, bringing us this webcast.
Great job. They're doing a huge crew here, Glenn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, Tom and Dave and all the crew and Jarrett and everybody doing an amazing job. All the pictures you're seeing around the world coming live from Kuala Lumpur. Putrajaya, in fact, here in Malaysia, around about 40 minutes outside of KL. It's just going around 2:30 in the afternoon, Tuesday. And this is the second jump from Freak School from the Netherlands.
Yeah, only competitor from the Netherlands at these World Championships. Yeah, this is his last. He slalomed earlier today. He tricked yesterday. Let's see how he goes here. Second jump, plenty of speed. Bit more speed this time.
Ah, nice
this will be
jump.
further. Oh, geez, another jump. We've seen a lot today around that 48, 49 metre mark.
Yeah, that was a nice jump too. He's looking a lot more confident here. This the wind has just swung around to a nice little head breeze straight onto these jumpers. And it looks like he might have brought this second one down a little bit further. And he certainly did. Just to the right of centre, hitting in the bottom of the ramp up over the top. And I think that's a little bit further than his opening jump.
49.1. 49.1. That actually puts him in second spot, I think.
Yep, slips him into second spot behind Rafael from Peru, who's our leader at 54.9. Pushes Seong-min Joo from Korea back into third position.
Yeah, the breeze is picking up, but it is actually blowing the right way at the moment, which is great. You can see it down the end where the boat's turning. It's starting to look a little windy, but the good news is when they get to the jump ramp, at the moment it looks like a nice head breeze actually.
Yeah, perfect conditions up here at the stadium end.
So it's about getting lots of width, and he might have just pulled up a bit short, I think, there on that counter cut, but let's see how he goes here. Into the ramp he's got plenty of speed. Does he get his lift? Yeah, not too bad, but not quite as far. I think, Grant, it's fair to say, you'd know more than me, but as that head breeze picks up, you've really got to work a little bit harder on getting wider and later, don't you, to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you certainly do. And this was a little bit back on his second jump, I think. Looks a little bit narrower here as well. He didn't quite get everything he needed into the bottom here. Let's have a look here on the World Waterskiers replay. A little earlier than his second jump as well. You can see there on his heels really all the way. Never really got the full pull off the top, and I think we'll find this is a couple of metres back on his second jump.
Okay, we're moving now to France, and it's Tanguy Deland. Down to our final four, of course. We've got two French competitors, and we've got a Ukrainian and a Slovakian to finish off for the day. This men's jump series 3 elimination round.
Famous name, Tanguy, Glenn, in French circles, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Retired coach. If you're listening, Tanguy, as our little drone goes past, we'll give him a wave as well outside of the window there. Lots of cameras around here with World Waterskiers. They're absolutely everywhere. But coming back, yeah, Tanguy, famous name in French waterski circles. Coached most of the best athletes in the world are even here this weekend. Tanguy touched a little bit on, so a famous first name there. And we wish the French athlete well. Tanguy Deland. Have a look at his personal bests or achievements. We'll bring those up within his profile here at World Waterskiers. 59.2. Well, we've had some personal bests, Glenn, this weekend so far. Will we see our first 60-metre jump? This could be it, folks. So if you like your jumping, stick around for the next 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 athletes to come. 3 after Tanguy, because all of these guys will be pushing up around 60 metres. So our leader so far, 54.9.
Yeah, he's a solid overall skier, of course. His brother Thibaut, of course, is one of the best overall skiers in the world, but he's got a 4 at 10.75, a 10,200 point trick run, and a 59.2 metre jump. So he's very solid 3-event skier is Tanguy. And here we go, as that head breeze is settled in pretty nicely now, actually. Let's see if he can get himself wide enough and late enough to take advantage of it. Looks pretty good to me as he makes his approach. Jump number 1, up he goes. Oh, he misses his kick. Bit of a crush on the jump ramp.
Yeah, a bit of a feeler there, Glenn. Didn't look comfortable at all, really. Right from the turn there, that looked like he just wasn't set correctly and really was right on his heels off the top. So he'll know what to do. An experienced jumper up over 59 metres. He'll know exactly what he'll do. He'll be in safe hands as well with some coaches from France. They've always got the best in their corner as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard the distance yet, but it was somewhere in the low 40s. It's a big crush, so we probably don't even really need to worry about that one. I'm sure he'll go further on jump number 2.
An amazing backdrop, isn't it, Glenn? All of the buildings around here. You might be watching from home wherever you are around the world and think, does it look as good as what it seems on the TV here? It's better. It's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. We've got skyscrapers off there in the distance. The infrastructure around Putrajaya is absolutely amazing, and the parks and the facilities are beautiful. If you ever are over here and there's an event on, do come to it because it's absolutely incredible. This will go down as one of the great World Waterski Championships. I have no doubt the best athletes coming out in the next few days. As we've got the French athlete coming in for jump number 2.
Yeah, Tanguy Delan now from France. He's got jump, as Grant said, jump number 2. It looks like a pretty good turn to me. Good approach into the jump ramp. Big kick off the top. Oh, that's
that was a
further.
great jump.
He has flown. I'll tell you what, that is going to be close to 60 metres. It won't quite be there, Grant, but I think that could easily be 57 or 58 metres. An absolute ripper of a jump.
It all came to the setup, Glenn. Watch this on the World Waterskiers replay here. This was a great setup here. Far, far better than his first. He dialed this right in. I can't wait to see how far this is. This is the leading jump so far, no doubt. Turn, lovely pull in, left ski up all of the way in, right on the corner, and lots of pull off the top as well. A great jump.
So how far is that, folks? How far is that? Because I think it's going to be 57 odd, maybe 58. 58.3, so it's sensational. Personal best 59.2, so not all that far off his all-time best.
Wow, 58.2?
58.3.
58.3.
So what I've learned so far from watching Sadie Ferguson jump yesterday and watching these guys jump today is that as long as we can get this this little headwind here, this is a great jump site. This is world class. We're going to see really big jumps. We're going to see 70 metre plus jumps. Definitely a bunch of jumps up in the high 60s anyway when the men get going in the top seeds.
Absolutely no doubt about it, Glenn. This will be the great jump sites of the world here. If these conditions stay like this all weekend, you are going to be seeing something truly special, whether it be here live or on the webcast here with World Waterskiers. The longest jump of the competition so far. Can he increase that on his third jump here?
Yep, well, let's see. As you said, the approach was really good on jump 2. This looks to be not too bad either. As he comes into the jump ramp, he's got plenty of speed. Another big kick off the top. That's further.
That's great.
That
That's
is further. We're getting close to 60 metres here, Grant.
Very, very close indeed. Again, this is a great setup, and I love this guy's work between the turn and the ramp. You watch, he just knuckles down here, lets the arms out, gets the pull come on, and he takes it all the way in, nice and strong, and gets a really good, nice lift off the top here. Lots of pull right there. That's what he needs. Pushes out over the front, and let's see if that's a little bit further than jump number 2.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. I'm sure of it. I think that could be a PB. Remember, it's PB 59.2. To me, that looks to be a little bit further than that. Waiting for the distance. 60.1 metres, folks. There we go. Put your hands together.
First
The
60 metre jump, ladies and gentlemen. 60.1.
60.1 metres.
And a new personal best, Glenn, as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one.
PB time at the Worlds. I know, we must have had at least half a dozen personal bests in this round of jump. Well, I picked it. I said there'd be a 60 metre jump. I think
certainly did. You said it.
Next competitor here, Louis Duplan-Fribourg, he is capable, I think, of 62 or 63 in these conditions. In fact, I'm going to pick this guy. It depends what the conditions are for the top guys later on in this week, but I'm going to pick this guy as an outside chance of making the jump final. You know, he's the sort of guy, he's got the conditions right in front of him here. Sometimes it's an advantage to ski in the early season, sometimes it's not. You never know, this could end up being a telling point.
You're right, Glenn, and it's going to be there about 60, 61 metres. You just never know. But I tell you what, with the conditions the way it is at the moment, with all of these seeds, Series 2 and 1 to come, you just don't know how far they're going to go.
No idea.
Absolutely. 60.1. Great jumping. First jump at these championships up over 60 metres. Smashed his personal best by just shy of a metre. Tangi, if you're listening, congratulations. Great jumping. So all the guys who are in Series 1 and 2, maybe some are watching on, Glenn, they must be licking their lips at this, including the likes of Jacinta Carroll from Australia and all the other top women's jumpers from around the world. They'll be just thinking, get me out there, please, headwind. Look at this.
Yeah, why are we finishing at 3 p.m? Keep going. Okay, strong poly out here now. So personal best for Louis is 62.8. So, you know, if he can get a 63, 64, which is possible in these conditions, he gives himself a shot at making the men's jump final at the Worlds. Looks like a great approach. Geez, technically he's very good, isn't he? Into the ramp he goes. He just, he missed a bit of his kick, but he's still going to be a 57, 58 metre jump, I think.
Missed a bit of his kick, but it's right up there. He floated a lot further than I thought he was going to. He looked a little right off the heels off the top, but the speed he created here. Just watch this turn here. If you're watching on the replay from World Waterskiers here on site or at home, look how low he gets. This is more like a Jarrett Llewellyn cut through the wakes there, Glenn. Right on the bottom right corner, a little off the heels off the top. That's exactly what he didn't want. But look at the float there. Beautiful float. This will be further than you think, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That'll be high 50s for sure. 57.2, 57.2. You know, for a little bit of a crush, that's a great opening jump for
it was.
Louis-Fribourg.
Yeah, great opening jump. I thought as soon as he came off the top, I thought, oh, no, that's going to be probably in the mid-50s. But the speed and the pull he created, excellent technique through the wakes and into the bottom. Let's see if he can get his legs off the top and get up around 60 metres again. Of course, his teammate Tangi Dayland has the lead at 60.1.
Yep, so we've got Louis Duplan-Fribourg out there at the moment. Personal best 62.8. He's open with a 57.2. He's got 2 jumps to come. Then we go to the Ukraine for Alexander Seminoff, and then, of course, Slovakia with Marek Melnik. Big, strong counter cut here. He's going to look to get as wide as he possibly can. Stands up nicely over his skis. Carries some speed through the turn. Into the ramp he goes. Oh, he misses the kick again, but he still flies. That's a 60 metre jump.
Great jump.
Great jump. And I'm sorry for being critical, but I thought off the top of the ramp it didn't look great. But he's carrying so much speed through this jump, through this ramp.
Yeah, I'm going to call this to be about 61, I think, Glenn. He got some nice float towards the end, and it came all from right here, right between the wakes and the bottom of the ramp. That's where he got it from, right on the bottom right there. And look at that float there, extra distance, pushing out over the front of his skis. That's going to be up around 60 to 61. He looked pretty happy too when he landed.
62.
Wow, there you go, 62 metres.
Excellent. And close, you know, like PB is 62.8, so he's 0.8 of a metre. But I'm going to push it a little bit here because I'm going to say it's still not enough. I don't think that it's enough to make the men's jump final at the Worlds. We don't know what's going to happen with conditions for the top guys. But I think he'll be disappointed if he doesn't get a little more here. I think he needs to find a way to get 63 to 64 to give himself a chance of making that final. I mean, who knows? I could be wildly wrong, but I don't know that he will be entirely happy if he heads back in with 62 flat.
Just what's happening at the top of the ramp, Glenn, is just slipping a little bit. He's getting all the pull up off the top, but it's right as he's coming off. It just seems like he's slipping a little bit there. If he can get that under control, we could see him go 63 or 64, but 62 metres, a fantastic jump. He's into the lead in front of his teammate from France. Third and final jump.
Beautiful conditions. We've got a little head breeze blowing here now, and 62 metres on the board so far for Louis-Fribourg. Let's see how he goes. Third and final. He needs, I think, to find a 63 or a 64 to try and make that men's jump final. Into the ramp he goes. Big kick off the top. Oh, he's
great
flown.
Jump.
Oh, that is a ripper. Put the fist up. Sensational stuff from the Frenchman. Oh, I think he's done it. That will be a personal best. I reckon that could even be 64 odd metres or even maybe further. I'll have to wait and see. I might be getting excited, but he's been asked by the French coach and the French team and the crowd have willed him on, and he's come up with something big here.
You can get excited for a very good reason, Glenn Williams. This is a fantastic jump from the Frenchman. We'll wait for the distance. I'm going to say this is up around 63, 64 metres. Amazing edging into the bottom here.
Look at that, driving in hard.
Driving in up off the top. He got the lift this time and pushed way over the
Beautiful.
front of his skis. Amazing airform. And the fist pump went up. He is happy. We'll wait for the distance.
63.7. It's a new personal best for Louis Duplan-Fribourg. 63.7. That gives him a real shot at making this men's jump final. Look, early days, we've still got 25 odd jumpers to go, but that is a decent sort of a jump. 63.7.
Well, the conditions just don't get any better, Glenn.
No.
I mean, do they? I mean, look out there at the moment. A straight, slight headwind. You've got the best boats in the business, the best ropes in the business, the best ramp in the business, and one of the greatest sites in the world, a stadium world championship site, something we haven't had for a long, long time for these guys to showcase their talents. And they have done it unbelievably well here this afternoon, have the men's jumpers. 63.7 is our leader. We've got 3 competitors to come, or 2, I should say. Alexander from the Ukraine and Marek from Slovakia.
Yeah, so, and of course Alexander, who's on the water now, Seminoff, he's the junior world jump champion from last year. He's just 16 years of age. He has had a jump, even though he's only just put a speed up on the odd occasion, I think, to 57k. He's had jumps close to 63, if I'm right. No, not quite. 61.3 though. He's just unbelievable talent. You know, Junior Worlds last year, one and done, first jump. You know, I think the American jumper had about a 54, 50, maybe just on 55 meter jump as the lead. And this young guy came out, first jump, bang, boom, tapped in, home. Sensational stuff for a 15-year-old to win.
Well, I hope you haven't put the moz on him, Glenn, here on his first jump. But let's see what he can do. Alexander Semilov from Ukraine coming in for his first jump. The leader now, 63.7 from Louis Duplan-Fribourg from France. Amazing jumping. First jump here from the athlete from Ukraine.
Big roar of the Nautique boat into the ramp he goes. Geez, he had some speed on that. He didn't get his legs, he didn't get his ramp work. But that Nautique just opened up on him there.
Roaring,
because
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was awesome actually. And that's because he was asking it to, you know, he was pulling hard on the boat.
Yeah, we can hear the roar of the Nautique when these athletes turn, put the power down, edge all the way in. You can hear the roar of that magnificent boat. And that is a huge reason why we've seen so many personal bests here already.
Yeah, so just to, for those of you, there's 12 in the final, in the men's jump final here at the World Champs. And we've still got in excess of 20 jumpers to come. So, you know, I'm saying that 63.7 gives them a chance of the final.
Well, he certainly said, look, boys, take a look at this.
Yeah,
63.7, thank you very much.
It may not be enough. Maybe you need 65 to make the men's jump final. Who knows? But I would be feeling I'd sleep pretty well tonight if I was Louis Freiberg, because he's sent the message to the rest of the field and said, this is how far you got to jump, boys.
He certainly has. Makes me want to turn around and look for my arm sling, Glenn, and my helmet.
It is. It's perfect out there at the moment.
Absolutely picture perfect. Just gone 3:15 here in the afternoon here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. You're watching Series 3 men's jump. Second last competitor of the day.
Mate, your watch is different to mine, but anyway. You said 3:15. It's made me check my watch. I said the battery was working. Here we go, back on the water. Alexander Seminoff, jump number 2. Big kick off the top. That's a good jump. That is a great jump. It's probably not quite as much as he wants. He'd be a little bit disappointed, the young fellow, but it is certainly ramping it up a little bit, somewhere in the mid-50s on jump number 2.
Didn't look quite comfy, did he, Glenn? He just coming into the bottom here. Ooh, a couple of little rollers there on the little replay there, and up off the top. Didn't get everything.
No.
Probably something in the mid-50s, I'd say.
55.4, I think, is the distance. 55.4.
Yep, I was wrong with the time, Glenn. A little 2:45 here local time.
It's all right, mate. Sorry, but it made me
2:45 local time, not quarter
made
after.
me
My
look kind of like-
apologies. So 4 jumps to come. Alexander will have one more. Then Marek Melnik will be our last competitor of the day. Finishing nice and early. All of our athletes lots of time to go home, relax, get ready for another beautiful day here. We've had amazing conditions the first opening 2 days here in Putrajaya in Malaysia. Let's hope they can continue over the next 3 or 4 days, because we've got all of the high series 3, 2 and 1 of a lot of our slalom tricks and jump coming up.
Yeah, third and final. This young guy he's going to want a 6 in front of it, isn't he? He wants a 60-metre jump. Let's see how he gets it together here. Pulls out wide. Good solid pull out. Standing up nicely over his skis. Makes his turn. Looks to have the width. He's got the speed on this. Can he get his lift? Yes, that's better
that's
lift.
better.
That will be his best. Right around that 60. Maybe just a shade under 60 metres, I think, there on jump number 3.
Yeah, nice job. Ideally, he probably would have liked this to be his first one, but he's come out and done it on his third and left it to his third and final. Nice setup, nice turn in, and got lots of pull right into the bottom. And that's what took him the extra distance. Right on the corner, up off the top. And hopefully we can press closer to 60 metres for Alexander for his third and final.
57.3 there. I thought it might have been a fraction further, but 57.3 is his distance. One last jumper to come today. Of course, it's Marek Melnik of Slovakia, of course, leading this event by a fair way, actually. At this stage is Louis Duplan-Fribourg, of course, with his 63.7, which is the mark to beat now for the next 20 odd jumpers, 25 jumpers. This is the mark that they will have to beat.
No doubt about it, Glenn. 63.7 will go very close. But if conditions stay like this, you just never know. There could be some amazing performances coming up over the next 3 or 4 days. So final competitor, Marek Melnik from Slovakia, coming out. Give him a cheer, folks, if you're still here, if you're still around.
Yeah, so Marek Melnik, 28 years of age, from Slovakia. He is a 60-metre jumper, his personal best 60.3 metres. Not sure, I think he might be the only Slovakian competitor at these Worlds.
I think you might be right, Glenn.
Very good slalomer and jumper though. He's got the slalom score halfway down 10.25, so that's solid. Good pull out here. Makes his turn for the jump ramp. Yep, tidy opening jump. Very tidy in the 53, 54 metre range, I think.
Yeah, nice opening jump. Certainly lots of improvement can come there from Marek. Solid opener though.
He's probably because slalom is his better event, and although he'll really want to jump well here, he probably has one eye on that slalom elimination round. He's just
he does look a tall guy, doesn't he,
yeah,
Glenn? He does
yeah,
look like
he
a
is.
slalom skier, and I'll bet he's very happy about the long jumpers these days. Gee whiz, I remember
Exactly.
days where he looks about 6'3", 6'4", this guy, and Remember the days when we used to watch Mike Shaylander at that type of height jump on the 72s and
Exactly.
3s? It wasn't much fun, was it?
No, it didn't take much for things
No.
to go wrong, did it? The great
No.
Mike Shaylander. Cara Burge was similar as well. 55.2 opening jump for Marek Melnik from Slovakia. So many good skiers now coming out of Eastern Europe. You know, we think of Slovakia, the Czech Republic, we think of the Ukraine, we think of Belarus. Really is quite
Amazing, isn't it?
exciting.
You go back sort of 15 or 20 years ago, there was a couple of skiers around those times, but not like this today. The depth seems like it's growing and growing, but not just the depth, but the talent and the scores have just been incredible.
And most of them are really good overall skiers as well, which is something that's fairly dear to my heart. You think of the Czech Republic and Martin Coleman and of course Adam Sedemeier. Here we go though. He's out wide on the towboat now. Marek Melnik opened up with a 55-metre effort. Roar that Nortique as he comes into the ramp. Oh, he's tidy jumper.
Nice jump.
Great style. Well, that'll be close to 60, that one. It won't quite be there possibly. It'll be 59 something. But, you know, PB of 60.3, he's not going to be a million miles off there. Is he checking his fins, is he?
Well, we'll have a look on the World Water Skiers here replay. Checking his fin as he was going around the corner there. We'll just have to wait and see how close he did get to the corner. Nice turn. Extends the arm for the pull. Edges all the way through the wakes. Really nice push in. Oh no, certainly
he's
just
fine.
to the left of the right corner, but lovely lift off the top. And a nice jump. So we'll just wait through the distance. I'm going to call it about 57, 58, somewhere around there. 63.7.
58.4.
Is the lead.
58.4.
58.4. 58.4 there for Marek's second jump. So one jump to come, Glenn, to wrap up day number 2, which has been a pretty exciting day skiing all round, hasn't it?
I've enjoyed it. Some great slalom earlier on today in magnificent conditions, of course. Well, actually, I know there's still 30-odd men's slalomers to go, but we've got a Kiwi in joint lead in the men's slalom. Of course, Morgan Deal, 4 at 11. He's up there with Diego Font. Of course, we had some great tricking as well, and this jump, bunch of PBs in this jump. So, great day's water skiing, great weather here, great well-run tournament, of course.
They'd be very excited, wouldn't they, the Malaysians? I mean, it's been fantastic to bring the event here, but to have first 2 days of competition to go off the way they have is absolutely fantastic. Hats off to them. They haven't put a foot wrong in absolutely anything, and everybody involved, well done. Third and final jump for today, Marek Melnik from Slovakia.
He's very good. He's technically very good on the jump ramp. Jeez, I gave him the big G up there.
Gee whiz.
He just about left his right ski behind on the ramp.
Got me excited there, Glenn, I tell you.
But he's okay, and that's important because he's a very good slalom skier, and you want to make sure he's okay for slalom. Look, that's great jumping. He's within 2 metres of his personal best. So, folks, we'll just watch the replay here because it's a pretty exciting jump, I think, if you watch his right ski off the top of the jump ramp.
Pressed a little bit early, a little bit too early there, didn't he? Glenn got a little high on the toes, a little early, and you can just see there what happens.
Didn't look as bad on replay, though. I think he was in control the whole time.
So 53.8 for the last jump there for Marek. So 63.7 is our leader from France, and all round again, great day skiing here. As we wrap things up.
Yeah, well, thanks, Grant. Thanks for your help. It's been great expert comments, of course. And congratulations, Louis Duplan-Fribourg, 63.7, the best jump of the day in Series 3 jump. Remember, we've still got 22 or 23 of the world's best jumpers to come, but you do give yourself a chance, I think, of making it through to that men's jump final. So we're back in the morning. I think 8 a.m. start with the top 3 series of ladies slalom. It's just going to be absolutely huge. So I think that's pretty much a wrap. So thanks very much to everyone watching on the webcast. Thanks to the crowd here in attendance. Thanks to all the organisers. And we'll see you back in the morning, 8 a.m. Malaysian time. Awesome.
Putrajaya, Malaysia this August to watch the world's best water skiers in action. Don't miss it.
Watch the best water skiers in the world compete at the 2019 World Waterski Championships in Putrajaya, Malaysia.